Jai Shankar, a very warm welcome to all the viewers in this session of Avkash today. Let's begin this session with our Sabha Prarambha Pratana. Dakshinasya Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Smarya Guru Parampara Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayan Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhasha Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशव वामन कृष्ण पाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शंकर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome to all the viewers on this session of Avkash. Avkash being initiated by Chitrapur Yuvadhara with the blessings of our Param Pujya Swamiji and the Guru Parampara has been very successful and commendable. So let's start our session today. The session has been conducted by Janvi Mallapur and Shreya Gokan. Janvi Mallapur is currently associated with the Young Rembrandts Group as an art educator. She is a self-taught artist with an observant eye for details and a flair of art that made her choose it as a career path. She has previously worked in Bollywood film industry in the field of art direction and production designing and contributed to the likes of Hasi To Fasi, Bombay Velvet and Trapped among many others. Shreya Gokan has worked as a spa therapist for American cruise liners with a background in training. Art happens to be one of her passion as well. Together, they have created a lockdown initiative where they conducted pocket-friendly online art workshops named Art in Isolation, which is also available on Instagram. That is dedicated towards raising awareness about how art can get rid of pandemic melancholy. The sessions help channelize your time therapeutically, creating wonderful art without any experience or formal training in it. Janvi and Shreya strongly believe that art is healing and they are committed towards promoting the value it adds to life. So let's begin our session today and let's get a little creative. Before we start this session, a few instructions. Please pin your chat to Janvi Mallapur so that you have continuous access to the screen. Also, if you have any doubts, please keep posting it on the chat box. We will be solving it later at the end of the session. Handing over to Janvi and Shreya. All the best.
I'm Shreya and this is Janavi. And today's class is about Madhubani art. We generally start our workshops with a small presentation, so we'll be doing the same this time as well. So we'll be sharing a few images and explaining what the art form is all about. Starting with a small presentation about the art form, and then we'll be heading towards the drawing aspect of the class. Let's start. So, to speak about the Madhubani art form, this is a folk art from northern India, and it is a mural style of painting which is traditionally passed on by women to their daughters. And before I explain about the art form, I would like to tell you on how to recognize a Madhubani painting. So, as you can see in front of you, this is a typical Madhubani painting, which has 5 different elements that make it a Madhubani painting. So, the first aspect of it is called the Bharni aspect. The orange color that you see within this painting is the Bharni aspect of the painting or the solid color within the painting. So, that is the Bharni aspect. The second part of this painting is the Kachni aspect of the painting. The parts of this painting which don't have any color in it but have fine lines or stippling and hatching within. The no color aspect of the painting is the Kachni aspect. The third aspect, that is, so the Bharni and Kachni aspect are the most important aspects in a Madhubani painting. The one with solid color and the one with no color and fine lines. The third aspect is the tantric aspect of the painting. Now, the tantric aspect literally means the deities that are drawn within the painting. So, like you can see in front of you, the Ram, Lakshman, Sita, and Hanuman are depicted, which is the tantric aspect of this painting. Then there's something called as the Kobar aspect, which is the floral patterns within the painting or anything that depicts nature. Like in this, if you see the flower garland, or sometimes the paintings don't have any deities but just have nature depicted. So that is the Kobar aspect of the painting. And the fifth aspect is called the Gondhana aspect, or the geometrical designs within the painting. Like in the borders of the painting, you'll see the Gondhana aspect or the geometrical designs. Now, in Madhubani paintings, there's always a double border drawn to everything that is in the painting. That is another way to recognize how what a Madhubani painting is. And moving on to the origin of the painting. So this painting, the Madhubani paintings, are from northern India, which is the specifically from the Bihar region, and these are easily about 2500 years old. And it's the Madhubani region lies at the border of India and Nepal, and hence you'll also see Buddha or Mahavir depicted in the paintings. But generally you will see Ramayana, the central characters of Ramayana depicted, only because this is the birthplace of Sita. And the Madhubani paintings were born at the time of Ram and Sita's wedding, when King Janak appointed a few artists to paint the whole town and to decorate it during Ram and Sita's wedding. So this is when Madhubani paintings were born. And there are always three aspects or three themes, you can say, of the painting. One is religious festivities. The second aspect that you'll see is social scenes depicted. And third aspect is the elements of nature depicted. So depending on which caste you are born in, like if you are a Brahmin, you're allowed to draw deities in the painting. But if you were born in the other castes, then you are not allowed to draw deities. So you would be drawing social scenes or daily life aspects in your painting. And these started as, like I said, they started as a mural art form or a mural style of painting. Next thing you see here is, we always talk about an artist that popularizes the art form. So in front of you, you have the Sita Devi photograph. So Sita Devi was born in a Brahmin family in Jitwarpur, and she popularized the Bharni style of paintings. And her Radha Krishna paintings are world famous, and she's won several awards. Few of them I'd like to share with you all is the National Award in 1975. In 1981, she got the Padma Shri, and in 1984, she got a Bihar Ratna Samman. She's also won a few international. She's also had an international recognition with this art form, and a few of her paintings are displayed in certain museums like the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, Los Angeles County Museum of Art, and Philadelphia Museum of Art as well, and in Musée du Quai Branly in Paris. So, few places where her art form is displayed. This is a picture of the Madhubani railway station, and there are two trains. One is the Patna Rajdhani, and the other one is the Bihar Sampark Kranti Express. So these trains and the railway station, Madhubani railway station, it was beautified with this art form. So wanted to show that. This art form was also used as a social cause. So in the year 2012, the Vikas Gram Parishad NGO, Mr. Shashinath Jha, made sure that more than 100 trees were decorated by the locals with paintings of the deities so as to stop deforestation. So this was also used as a social cause. And like I explained earlier, this is a mural style of painting, and they generally prepare a mixture of cow dung and mud, and they texturize the wall first. And over this, they apply natural paints or natural dyes made from leaves, flowers, and vegetables. So, this to understand how this art form was popularized in the year 1934, there was a major earthquake in Bihar, and a British colonial officer by the name William Archer was appointed to examine the damage done by this earthquake in Bihar. And he chanced upon these paintings and popularized the art form nationally as well as internationally. This is an example of Madhubani house and how they use it.
Okay, so now let's move on to the actual drawing of it. So now that we've presented, so let's move on to the first thing that we I want to show you all is the Madhubani borders. So in a typical Madhubani painting, like something like this, in a typical Madhubani painting, we always make borders. So first thing what I'm going to show you is a few techniques of drawing borders or few designs that you all can do with me. So I would request everyone to keep one paper as their final artwork and a few papers just rough sheets so that you all can just
Practice the art.
yeah.
So we are going to start with a few double line borders now. You can practice this with us.
So a few borders you can start with just a dash and then you can add some arches or U shapes. This could be one of them. Guys, if you're having any confusion or if you all have any questions, you all can ask us right now as well. Or if you all can chat with us, one of the representatives will, I think, ask us the question. Yeah. Second style would be like a leaf shape. So there are a various number of things that you can do with the single leaf shape like this. Like you could add a dash in them or leave it blank the way it is. You can even add dashes here like this. This is the Kachni style. And if I fill color in the other side, this is Bharni and this is Kachni. This is Bharni and this is Kachni. So you can fill it all up like this in this style. Or you all can create your own borders. It could be as simple as just a line and a few zigzag lines or triangles. It can be as simple as this as well. Another one would be so in a double line border, you start drawing U's, large size, and within them, I'm going to make semicircles again. So this is another drawing that you can, border that you can do. Again, here you can use the Bharni Kachni style or however you want to like decorate it. That's fine.
You can invent your own borders. Just a few examples here. You can have few curves, leaf shapes, zigzags, or something a little more detailed like this. So painting would always have a border to it.
Yeah, it could also be as simple as two lines and just some standing lines within it. Like just something like this. Any questions so far, guys? Does anyone want to share their art or their design with us? Whatever they've done so far. Circles, yes, you can do circles as well. So you can do a few spirals Like within a line, you can do some spirals, or you can even do circles. That's also fine. It works. Let's move ahead, guys.
So now we'll be moving on to the basic motifs in a Madhubani painting. So, like we explained earlier, there are deities drawn, but at the same time, there's also aspects of nature in the painting. So, we'll be covering a few of them.
Yeah. So we could start with as simple as a butterfly. You want to get ahead? So it could be as simple as a butterfly. So for a butterfly, I'm just going to draw a circle and a V-shaped body, and again the wings like a heart shape, but broader at the edge. Now, a good way to identify this as a Madhubani motif would be to add a double line to the entire drawing. So you could just add a double line. This is where you can easily identify that this is a Madhubani motif or Madhubani um, drawing.
We're just adding a few fine lines inside to make it Kachni.
And then inside, you all can do any design. Here I'm doing a simple one, or you can add, build on this.
Or you can leave, just color it, just solid color would make it Bharni.
Yeah. So this would be a butterfly. Another one. So we are going to share like two of our birds that we share in every class. So that is a normal bird and a parrot. So any bird, like you can make this into a crow or pigeon or anything you want. And just by changing the beak, it turns into a different bird altogether. So just a few details here and there, and it looks very different. So let me move ahead and let's see how to draw a basic bird shape. So for the bird, I'm first going to draw a circle. So that's going to be the head. Now, inside the circle, I'm adding another line very close by. So it's like the border. Inside that, I would like to add the eye. Now just under the head, I would draw the body of the bird. Now the body of the bird is generally drawn in a mango shape. So something like this, or a paisley shape or a mango shape. And then you can give it a double line and add some more detail inside. Now this detail depends on what you all want to draw. Like you all can add your own details. You all can uh, fill it in with color, or you all can leave it blank as it is. Like it's totally on you. Now I'm drawing the tail for this. So the tail is just a simple slanting line going down, and here it is going to be tapering at the top and broader at the bottom. So I'm going to draw another slanting line tapering at the top, and as you go down it's getting broader. Now at the bottom I'm just going to fill in some 2 or 3 U's and join it and complete the tail. Now within the tail also you can add some double lines. So this double line technique is very important and necessary for Madhubani painting. That's how artists can recognize, or anybody that for that matter can recognize a Madhubani painting. So you can add any more details in this if you wish to. Now for the wing, I'm going to add another mango shape just behind the body. Just one slight little mango shape behind the body and a beak. Now the beak could be just a simple beak, like a V shape, like here. So this would be a normal any bird, right? So you can call this a crow. You can say this is a myna. This is any bird you want. But if I had to make this into a parrot, I would just change the beak to a little more curvy beak, just like this. So let me show it here. So I would just change it into a curvy beak and make this into a parrot. So the same style of bird can be changed into a few different ways, and that's all. Any questions so far? Are we audible to everyone?
Yeah, hi. The beak does not I mean, we don't want to draw a double line in the beak as
One
well.
second. Hey, could you ask again? Because I think we
Do we
couldn't
need to
hear you.
draw a double line in the beak as well, or it's fine? I mean, as you said, a double line is
It
a name.
uh, so in the beak it's fine, but if you want to draw an overall double line, that's also okay. Like it's not a compulsion, but mostly in the larger areas of the body, etc., you need to add double lines so that you can recognize it as a Madhubani painting. Any other questions, guys? All right, let's move ahead, and I'm gonna show another. Um, okay, let's move on to a fish now. So I would just like to show you a fish quickly. A fish would be as simple as first a curve or like a tick sign upside down, and from here I would add a nice curve going up and curving out slightly outwards, and this curve here outwards. So curving out, and just add it with a bump and a bumps, just like a number 3. And now within this as well, you can add a lot of design. Add the eye, the face. You can give your own design detail, or you can just leave it plain like this. Add some lines here. You could add the fins, or the fins can also be drawn in a very simple way. That is just a slant line and a slant line and join it at the bottom. Some lines coming down like this. Now the whole thing can be bordered again. Now remember that the border should be really close. Like it shouldn't be a very thick border. It should be really close to the motif that we are making.
Just a fun fact here. Like not every aspect of nature, but few aspects or elements of nature symbolize something. So when a fish is drawn in a Madhubani painting, it generally symbolizes either fertility or it symbolizes good luck. So let's say it is drawn with with Lakshmi goddess, then it would probably be symbolizing good luck as well. So depending on what it's drawn with, is depicting something or symbolizing something that it's with.
Alright, let's move on to some flowers now. So in a flower, a simple flower would be a tulip. So to draw a tulip, first I'm gonna write a U shape. Now towards the end, I'm gonna curve it outwards and curve it outwards. Almost looks like an upside down bell. Now from the curves outside, I'm gonna get a curve facing inwards and inwards. And in the center, I'm just gonna write either a U, or you could even write a V like this. So both these shapes can be done. Now again, this could be bordered. And inside this, you can add any details. So Kachni, like Shreya said earlier in the presentation. So this Kachni style is seen in mostly all of the paintings. So you can just add it with whatever design you feel like doing inside. So this would be a typical tulip. Let's move on to a lotus. Guys, if we are moving too fast, you all can let us know. We'll take it slightly slower. Okay, let's see this one. Can we fill within the borders? Yes, you can fill within the borders as well. So okay, I'm quickly gonna draw lotus here. So lotus would be like a drop shape first, and then you, like all of us know how to draw lotus, right? So just make a lotus. Now to this you can add a border, slightly thicker border I'm adding. And now in the border you can give it some detail like this. And you can leave the lotus inside the way it is, like leave it plain. But in the border you can add some design. Or it could even be some zigzag designs. Sure, we'll take it slightly slower, Divya. Alright guys, let's move on to the next aspect that we have is this Madhubani sun.
So the Madhubani sun is a very famous aspect of the painting, and this is drawn in almost every Madhubani home. So every Madhubani wall would have a sun drawn, which is what we're going to do next.
So we would request you to not draw the whole thing with us right now, but we are just showing you the technique of how to do it and how it's done. So if you could like just do it halfway and then continue it later on, will be really great. Our final artwork is going to be this fish painting or fish Madhubani fish drawing that is done here. So now in the sun, first you could do it on a landscape form on the paper, or you can do it in the standing way, like standing or sleeping, any like horizontal, vertical, anything is fine. It could be a square paper, that's also fine. You can do it on any shape of a paper. All right, let's continue, guys. So here I'm gonna quickly draw a paper for myself. Now in this, I would draw a circle first for the face. Now to this, I'm going to add another border. Now for the features, I'm going to start with the eyebrows first. So for the eyebrows, I would just do a curve or a bracket shape going inside. So like how we would draw a eyebrow in when we were in school, right? So it's just a curve and a curve. So it's touching the edges of the face and getting it inside. So a curve and a curve coming inside. Now here for the nose, it's going to be a simple motif. So it's going to be just a straight line going down and down like this. So just a straight line and a straight line going down. Now at sides, I'm just drawing a C and a reverse C and a U to complete the nose. So it could be as simple as this. Now for the eyes, now it's an almond shaped eye. So we start from the nose till the edge of the face. So I'm going to start with a curve and join it to the edge of the face, and another curve coming back and joining to the edge of the face. And let's do the same thing on the other side. So from the nose to the edge of the face, and again from the nose to the edge of the face. Now for the pupils, I would just do a circle and another circle inside. Now this circle I would fill it in, but leave a small little white blank space in the middle. So this is a very typical Madhubani style eye. It may look slightly scary, but this is how they look. Like this is how they draw a typical eye in Madhubani paintings. Now, just below the nose, we are gonna draw the mustache. So for that, you all can either do this shape, or I'm gonna show you all a few other shapes that you can do. So you can even do
A thin mustache.
a curvy one like this. Or it could also be two lines, just like that. So the shape of the mustache can change, or you can make it the way you like it. And for the lips, it could be as simple as a curve and a curve. So it could be just a curve and a curve at the bottom, or it could be something like this. So like a bump first and join the lips and make another line and the bottom.
So more defined.
Yeah, slightly more defined. Or it could just be a curve and a curve. Just two curves joining the mustache. Now another way to draw the tilak. Now tilak, here we've just drawn a U shape, a double U shape. A few different styles of drawing the tilak would be a simple circle. It could be a U instead of a broad U. So instead of a broad U, it can be as simple as a U shape. It can also be like a naam. So three lines like this, and maybe a circle in the center. So it could be as simple as this, or as intricate as the naam. So you can do it the way you like it. Now after we are done with the face, you all can draw another border, and you all can add more details like we have added here, or you can leave it as it is, like this one. And when we draw these lines or the rays, the sun rays, remember to always draw even number rays, because otherwise it may be difficult for us to color them. So you see how it is alternate here. So if you don't have even number rays, it's going to be difficult to color them. So
You
make
might
sure.
end up with a yellow and yellow together. So
Yeah.
to avoid that, have even number of rays in your painting.
Now, just to show you all a few different styles of rays, you can do a curvy one. Now again, now see how the rays here are. So I'm. You want to get ahead? So it's curvy here. So I'm gonna be filling in the. Okay. So if I fill in red here, and the next one would be like a black and white line, just like this. Again, add a border. Again, next one I'll be filling yellow, or you can fill orange as well. Like it depends on what color you want to do. Again, I'll be filling
Lines within.
lines. You can even do three colors, so red, yellow, orange, red, yellow, orange throughout. But make sure you always have even number. Also, if you don't do curvy lines and if you just want to do straight lines going outwards, that's also fine.
This is just another way to do it.
So this is what a typical sun would look like. And this sun painting, like Shreya said, is always found in any or every Madhubani home. Any questions so far, guys?
We would like to have a question for you all that you can answer in the chat box. Those who have already done this with us, please do not answer. The question for you is, where in the world would you find the Mithila Art Museum besides India? So, name the country where you will find the Mithila Art Museum. If you know the answer, put it in the chat box. And if you've done this class with us, please do not answer it. And of course, do not Google and spoil the fun. You can guess as well.
So, guys, if you all want a reference, I'm just going to hold this. You all can just take a screenshot of. Yeah. That's right. Now, quickly, we are going to move ahead and I'm going to show you how to draw some human faces or a human face, a man and a woman. Uh,
Okay,
yes.
so someone has answered,
Yeah.
and the answer is right. It is Japan. So the Mithila Art Museum in Japan is in the Tokamachi Hills, and there are approximately 2,000 Mithila paintings, out of which 300 were created by the artists in Japan. So Sita Devi and Ganga Devi actually traveled to Japan and they taught the artists over there the Mithila style of painting. And there are about 36 original works of Ganga Devi and Sita Devi over there. So just a fun
Trivia.
fact.
Yeah. So let's move ahead, guys. And we want to show you how to draw a typical Madhubani face or some faces. So just with a face, you can do so many, like you can do a full artwork which looks like this. And it looks very nice after you fill in some more color as well. So let's quickly move on to the face. So to remember the face, it's a very simple alphabetical letters that you can alphabetical letters that you can use, and they are A, W, L, and C. Okay. So you can use A, W, L, and C to make a typical Madhubani face. And now we're going to see how. So the part of A, we are not going to take the whole entire A, but we are just going to take a part of the A. So that would look something like this. So I'm going to make a man and I'm going to make a woman and a man simultaneously. You all could also do that on your page. All right. All right, let's move ahead. So now for the A part, I'm just writing the curve or the slanting line of the A. So I'm going to make a reverse one on this side. So reverse on the other side. Now for the W part, so the nose is going to be a W. So let's just draw a W and a W. Now under this, I'm going to write L, but at the second part of W, I will start writing an L. So you see how the L, the top line is short and the sleeping line is longer. Let's do the same thing here. I'm writing an L. Under this, I'm going to write a C slightly inside. So you see how it's going from outwards to inwards. So it's moving from outside and it's moving inwards. So this is what it is. So A, W, L, C. Okay, after the C or the reverse C, I'm just going to add a chin, just a curve and a curve. Now we can draw a slant line, almost like an R shape for the neck. Now the hair. All right, let's move on to the hair. So for the hair, they generally have such curvy lines, or if not curvy lines, just a line going down like this to show some hair.
So they look like clouds.
Yeah. And a line going down. Now to this line, their style of drawing the ear is slightly different from how our ear generally is. Right? So our ear, we would generally draw it like this. Correct? Like if the face was here, we would draw a ear facing outwards. But in Madhubani, they always draw it something like this.
So the ear is drawn in the opposite direction.
So you can add the ear for the male and the female. So let's make some hair for the male as well. So for the male, I'm just adding like a cloud on top. And for the female also, let's do the similar thing. Now for the female, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start making the eye. Now the eye, first let's start the eyebrow. So the eyebrow is a curve shape. And like I told you all about the sun, but here it's not touching the nose because she's facing sideways. But just under the eyebrow, I'm doing a curve shape and a curve shape and adding the eye. So a circle and a smaller circle inside. And you can either fill it up or leave a blank spot inside. Something like this. Also, to make it look more feminine, we add a few more details like the natni. So for that, I'm just going to draw a circle here and then you can add some design on it. Add some earring. So you can add any style of earring. Now again, over this, the female always has a ghungat on her head. So you can add some bindi and then add a few lines going downwards from the top. So it can go down till the edge. So this is a typical female and the male is very similar. Just add the same style of eye. Here he will not have a earring or he won't have the mangtika or the natni. So this is how a male and a female is drawn. It's a very typical Madhubani style of drawing a male and a female.
And it's like you can see here, anatomically, it's not really drawn very well. It's more crude in nature, but at the same time, it's got its own charm. We would like you all to switch on your cameras and show us where you have reached with this, and would like to see a few drawings now.
Supriya, you want to show yours?
It's not visible. If you could just hold the paper up for us.
Nice, very nice.
Okay, we see the faces.
Yeah.
Very well drawn.
Uh, hey, that's really nice.
Neelu.
Nilotpala, very nice. Who else? Who else? Anybody else showing? Guys, you all can just say your name and then we can probably see what you're showing.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. This is Divya here.
Hi, Divya. Yes, you want to
Yeah.
show yours?
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Anybody else, guys? You can just call out your name.
Sanjana.
Yes.
I'm Sanjana.
Hi.
Can you see me?
Yes. Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice, Sanjana.
Do you want to show
Hi, I'm Vaishnavi.
If
Hi,
you all want to
Vaishnavi.
show us the motifs, you can show us
Oh,
those as
Vaishnavi
well.
is showing the sun. Very nice, Vaishnavi. Really
Also
nice.
the face.
Also the face, all right. Very nice, very nice. Good job. Really great.
Hi,
Guys,
Ritika.
hi Ritika.
So this is my version of a sun,
Nice,
and
very
Really nice.
face is also very nice. Anybody else, guys? Anybody wants to share if they have made some other designs or
We would like to
different
see at least
style?
2, 3 more, and then we move on.
Yeah. If anybody wants to show a different style that they've done from ours.
Hi, this is Shruti here.
Hi,
Hi,
Shruti.
Shruti. Oh wow.
Can you see?
Very nice, yes.
The borders and all this.
Yeah, I like the
Very nice.
borders as well. Very well drawn.
Thank you.
Hi, Shani.
Can you see my screen?
No, it's not very clear.
It's a bit blur.
It's
Okay, yeah, we
yeah.
can see it now.
Hold it slightly behind. Actually behind for us to see. Yeah, very nice. Very nice, Shani. Gauri, you want to show yours?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it.
Awesome. Yes, I
Yes,
can
we
see
can
it.
see it. It's very nice.
Really nice. All right, guys. So let's move ahead. Everybody has done well. We know that you all are following properly or following our instructions. Again, we are just going to hold the drawing in front of the screen so that you can take a screenshot if you like and try recreating. One second. All right. The next thing we would like to show is how long do we have? Okay. I think we should move on to our final design. Or in fact, I think I'd like to show one peacock design to you all.
We have time, so you can.
We have
Time. Okay.
All right. So let's move ahead and let's show you a basic peacock design in Madhubani style. So this is what it would look like, and a typical tree and a peacock is what I'm going to show right now. Again, for the peacock, we'd start with a mango shaped body. So for that, first I'm going to draw a mango shaped body, again facing sideways. Like imagine the mango kept sideways. Now in this, you can add more details like the wing. So just add a second part, just like that. You could add some few more details and color them off, or you can do the Kachni style. And you can add more details like just some curves all around. Now it totally depends on what and how you want it to look and how stylized or minimalistic you want to keep it. Now let's join a long neck and a head to this body. So now I'm gonna join it with a first let me make let's leave a, a good enough distance within the body and the head. To start the head, I'm just making a circle, but I'm not completing the circle here. I'm taking it back and joining it to the body. And same thing on the other side, I'm just getting a neck joining the body. So like a curve going down, joining the body. Let me make the head slightly bigger. Now the beak is generally curving outwards of a peacock. So when you draw a beak, you can draw it like this, slightly curving outward. Now for the eye is very similar again like we did the Madhubani eye, but here we are not going to add eyebrows. So the eye is generally facing upwards like this, or just a teardrop and an eye like that. So we don't draw a peacock's eye like this. We draw it standing. So also it depends on where the peacock is looking. You can change the direction of the eye, but it's mostly sideways or slanting upwards. All right, let's move ahead and let's add some details on the head. So I'm just putting a few curves. You can do this, or you can also do the line and a circle, so something like this. Line and a circle, line and a circle, line and a circle. So as simple as this, or it could even be like a crown. At the neck part, I'm just adding some details. Here you can add your own design. Now for the tail bit, first I'm going to draw its leg or almost like a tail. It's a curvy line. Guys, are we moving too fast? Or are you all following?
You can ask us to slow down if we are. No, okay.
Okay, could you share more animals or objects with hidden meaning? Please slow down. All right. Okay.
So since you asked about the meaning, I would like to ask you, do you know what the peacock symbolizes? If you know the answer, put it in the chat box. Or if you would like to guess, you can do so.
You all can unmute and tell us as well. Like it'll be a little faster. Okay,
Purity. Yes, it could mean that.
Beauty. Shruti says beauty. Sanika says royalty.
So, any more guesses?
Looks like someone's talking. Okay. You want to tell them?
So it depends on what deity is drawn next to it. Let's say it's drawn next to Vishnu, for example, it probably depicts religion, right? But if it is drawn next to Radha Krishna, then it is depicting romance or love. So depending on what deity it's drawn next to, the meaning of it would change.
Yeah, so it depends on the mood of the painting. So the peacock generally symbolizes the mood of the painting. By adding it, it can mean
Romance or love,
yeah.
or it could mean religion or bhakti or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, let's move ahead. I'm just quickly drawing the tail part. So I'm just adding a curve at the bottom like this. Now to add the tail, I'm just adding a few more leaf shapes or leaf shape. Starting thin and going broader, and then we'll come back thinner. Like somewhat like this shape. It has to go down like this. Like a tail. Imagine a tail, right? So now I'm just continuing and adding some leaf shapes. It also depends on how big your page is, and if you have some space here you can continue drawing, but don't make it too long as well. Like it could end till this part, not longer than that, or you can edit here as well. But if it's going outside the page like this, like in this case, you can't see the edge of the tail, right? So you can leave it at this as well. So this is how a typical uh, peacock is drawn. And now let's move ahead, and I'm going to quickly show you a tree, a very typical tree.
I'd just like to share one more thing. If a serpent is drawn in a painting, it generally means a divine protector. But again, like we said, the mood of the painting tells you more about it. Like in this painting that we have done, it's we are depicting the Kalia Daman, and this is basically depicting the ego. So again, depending on the mood of the painting, the meaning of the element drawn changes.
All right. So a typical tree would be by writing a few. Again, we are using some letters here, and only one letter. In fact, we are using the letter V. So in the middle of your page, that you can start making a tree. If you have to make a tree in the middle of your page, you can start with this technique. So write a V in the center. Now, towards the top of the uh, slanting lines on the V, you can make more V's. As you go above, the number of V's will increase. So these are going to be the branches. And slowly it will start taking shape. Now I'm just going to quickly add the bottom part. And as you move ahead, you have to make sure that it is broader at the bottom, and as you go along, it becomes tapering. Like here, again, I would join it here and here. So somewhat like this. And if you want to go on increasing, you can do that as well. You can add more V's around. And to end it, I would just get it long and join it to the edge or the tip of the V part like this. Or if you can make it slightly longer and then join it, that's also fine. So this is the typical base of a tree. Now on this as well, you can draw some design on the branches. You can add some details, any curves, lines, anything is fine. Now again for the leaves, it's going to be as simple as a leaf shape. Now in Madhubani style trees, they start with the leaves from the bottom of the trunk and move upwards. So you can start drawing. Leaves are also used as fillers on a page. So like in this case, if you don't know what to do in the background, you can use the leaves as fillers. So the whole page looks like it's complete, right? It looks like it's filled up and it doesn't look very empty. So you can use leaves as fillers. Another different style of leaves that we had shown earlier, you can use the same technique. So in the leaf, you can leave it as it is. You can add a dash just like this. You can add a dash and then add some more lines within it. So the Bharni Kachni style. Or you can just color one, leave one blank. Or color it and do Kachni. So these are the various styles of leaves that you can do. These are a few styles of the leaves that you can do. There are a lot of other styles, but these are a few options that we are giving you. Now for the fruits, the fruit generally depends on what color you're using. So they generally only draw a circle with probably a small little stem. So now if I color this red, it's an apple. If I color it yellow, it probably means a lemon. Or any fruit that you want it to be. And a mango would slightly look different and they would draw a mango. So these are the only two simple shapes of fruits that they generally show on the trees. I think now we should move on to our final drawing. That's going to be the
fish Madhubani.
Yeah.
So you can have your final papers out now.
Yeah. Guys, any confusion so far, or if you all have any questions for us? So let's start with the I'm just drawing a page for myself. Can they see it? If it's there? Okay, so if you have a page, you can keep it in the sleeping way or you can keep it standing the way you like it. Now this page, always, whenever we start a Madhubani painting, we always start with borders first. So I would like everyone to draw a border either with a ruler or with freehand, because most of the Madhubani paintings are done on like walls or canvases, and people don't really have um, rulers or scales. So they just draw freehand, and there's a little bit of rustic feel to it, and it looks really nice. If it goes slightly crooked, that's fine. So you can just add a border.
For now, keep the border simple. You can make it elaborate. You can leave space and make it more elaborate afterwards. But for now, just have a double border.
If you have to do a border like this, or if you want to make your own border, just draw another border just around it and leave it blank for now, and then you can fill it in later on. So something like this. Okay, you can fill it in later on. You can do this later, but just draw the border and keep it. We'll be demonstrating the important parts, and whatever extra detailing has to be done, you can do it by yourselves or add your own details.
While you draw a border for your painting, I have another question for you all, which you can answer in the chat box. The Madhubani paintings are generally done on walls, but there are floor Madhubanis as well. And if you know what a floor Madhubani is called, you can answer that in the chat box. So the floor Madhubani paintings have a name to it. And if you know the answer, you can answer it in the chat box.
Rangoli.
No, Rangoli is not the answer.
Not Rangoli.
Anybody else would like to try? Would like to guess? You can even unmute and answer if you would like to.
Okay, so let's move ahead. And I want to divide my page into 3 parts, like how it is here. On the right end and the left end, I'm leaving very little space, or I'm making panels where I can fit 3 squares. So you can do that. So I'm just going to go freehand on this. I'm just drawing 2 lines and 2 lines. So guys, if you all want to make 4 lines instead of 3 lines, that can also be done. Like you can just
You
do
can
it
add
your
panels
own.
to
Yeah, make it your own style. Now in the center, I'm going to draw a circle touching the 2 edges here and here. So I'm just going to draw a U shape first and a U shape on top. So circle and a circle.
Mithila isn't the answer as well. Mithila is the name of is another name for the Madhubani painting. And it's also the name for the region. So they are Mithila paintings or Madhubani paintings from the Mithila or Madhubani region of Bihar. So the answer to this question was Aripans. The floor Madhubani paintings are also called as Aripans, which is Aripan. Moving on with the painting now.
So now, guys, have you all made the circle and the lines? If you all have, let's move ahead. Let's divide this section into 3 parts again. So I'm just dividing it into 3 parts. Even if it's not equal, if these 2 are smaller and the center is big, it's fine. Or the center is smaller and the corners are slightly bigger, that also works. But make sure you do the similar thing on this side, because then it'll look a little more symmetric and your painting will look really nice. So guys, if you all don't have paints, you all can keep this black and white like we have here.
So this is done on a black paper with a white gel pen, a waterproof pen, or a
So same design can be done with black and white.
So if you don't have paints, you can do something like this.
Yeah, you all can do a black pen on white paper, that's fine. If you don't have paints, you can use color pencils, crayons, any coloring media that you find at home.
Works.
Yeah. So during the lockdown, we have also like given ideas to people about using kumkum with water and haldi with water. So you get a red and a yellow shade. And if you mix the 2, you get a orange shade. So you can probably try the sun with these 3 colors. So if you don't have any colors at home, but you have these things available at home like kumkum, haldi, and yeah, that's for it. So you can use these things and create a nice looking sun painting even without having paints at home. Let's move ahead, and I'm gonna add a few more circles around, or a few more curves just around the circle. I'm just gonna go parallel to the line here, and I'm just adding 2 on top and 2 at the bottom because I have a lot of space remaining. Now in the center, I want to draw a slightly smaller circle. In this, my main element, the fish, will come. Now, if y'all don't want to do the fish, y'all can draw any motif y'all like. So y'all can draw like a sun in the center. Y'all can draw a butterfly in the center. Y'all can draw probably the fish in the center, and on the two side on the four edges you can make birds,
You
or
can have the faces within as well.
yeah, or you can have two suns or sun and moon, and
Various combinations.
so this is just the basic uh, outline. Now to fill it in, I'm going to use a few designs that I think all of us have tried when we get bored, right? Or when we used to get bored in our notebooks. Just
Like doodling.
yeah, I'm just adding U shapes or curves. You can add any shape you like. Again, here I'm adding some curves. You don't have to copy the same thing. You can make it your own style. Anything is fine. Now the main important part is to draw the fish inside. I want everybody to draw that with me. But before we draw that, I just want to add the semicircles and the circles within the panels. So in the center panels, I'm just going to draw a circle. Guys, if you all have any questions or if you all want us to move slower, you all can mention it in the chat box and we'll move slightly slower. Now to draw a circle, I'm just attaching, like I'm just making a circle touching the four sides. So if it's not a perfect circle, it's fine. It could be slightly like, oval or anything is fine. Like just maybe even a diamond shape is okay. Something like this is also fine. Now I'm going to add some semicircles in the four corners. So to draw that, I'm going to add a dot in the center of each square. Now I'm going to just start from the top, get it to the center, and take the semicircle back up. So this is how I'm going to divide it into two parts. Let me do it on this side as well.
So it somewhat looks like a sand clock.
Now I'm going to show you how to draw the fish. Let's start from the sides first. So now on the top, I'm going to start with a curve. I'm going to get this slightly ahead. So let me start from here, from the top. I'm getting a curve going downwards. Okay, wait. Hang on. I'm getting a curve going downwards, closer to the body. And as I go up, I'm making a curve and joining to the edge of the page. And I'm going to add the eye and the mouth. Now here you can do your own detail or own design in the fish or in the body of the fish. Let's do a very similar one here. So again, I'm starting at the bottom, taking a curve going upwards, curving it very close to the semicircle. From there, I'm going to take a U-turn outwards, and then I'm going to join it with a curve and a curve as a tail. Now let me again add an eye and the mouth. And again, you can do your own detail or own design inside the body of the fish. Now you can add a border just like this around it. Now for the ones in the center, so the circle here, I'm going to start from the top of the circle, slightly much. Okay, so from the top of the circle, I'm going to get a curve going downwards and closer to the bottom. And as I come closer, I'm going to take it further away or a curve and get the tail in back. Now let's start the other one's face from the bottom. Move slightly upwards towards the circle and towards the edge,
But not touching it.
yeah, not touching it. Curve back, and this is the tail. And then the process is the same for the face. You just add an eye, the mouth, and any detail that you want to add inside. Now this is how you do it in all the corners. So all the corners will look very similar to this one. And the center, all the centers will be just as this. So again, I'm going to show you the center once more. I'm going to start from the top. I'm going to get it down with a curve. But when I come down, I'm going to get it closer to the circle and go outwards with a curve for the tail and curve it inwards. Now the same thing from the side. So from the bottom, I'm going to start drawing the face, curving upwards towards the circle, curve in, and the tail. And you can add your own detail.
Also, in this drawing, the in this border that we've given it, the use, if you see, it's converted into tiny fishes. So you can do that as well, or you can just leave it simple like this and keep it as a border.
Any questions so far? Any of you all have started drawing? Can we see some? Or if you all want us to
Is it
show
fine if I
particular,
draw a face in the middle?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
perfectly fine. You can draw a face, you can draw a man, lady, anything is fine.
You can draw any elements that we've shown so far. It doesn't have to be this. We're just depicting an example.
Yeah, so Shreya, you want to ask your trivia about the fish?
Fish. I asked about the fish. The fish symbolizes good luck, or then it symbolizes prosperity, depending on which deity it is drawn with.
I've just done a light sketch. I don't know it is
That's
visible or
very
not.
nice. Yeah, it is visible.
Yeah, looks really good.
Nice, very nice.
Just
Continue. Yeah, very nice. Okay, Vaishnavi is also showing us. Vaishnavi, very nice. Good job, Vaishnavi.
She's done the face in the center.
Yeah. Okay.
In the center, I'm not able to get the circle. So what other shapes can I draw? Yashaswini, you can like Janvi said, you can draw a circle, you can draw a diamond, you can have any shapes.
You can even draw a square, anything is fine. If you don't get, like, you can keep a plate and draw a circle. Use a bowl, plate, anything is fine. Like, you don't have to make it freehand. You can use a bowl, plate, compass, anything is fine.
You're welcome. If anyone has any more questions, please ask us and we'll try and answer them.
Guys, any questions?
We would still like to see a few more artworks. So you all can switch on your cameras and show
Sanika, have you
us.
done anything with us? Sanika, you want to show? Hey, that's nice. Very
The
nice.
sun. That's beautiful. Anyone else, please show us what you've done so far.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, this is Rachna, and I'm not sure if you can see me.
Hi, Rachna.
Hello. Can you see my drawing though?
Uh,
I don't
it's
think
really
it's visible.
blurred.
You can hold it back slightly. Yes. Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, nice, nice, very nice. Apanaku.
Instead of us calling out few names, you all can show us by yourselves. You all can show us what artwork you have made so far.
Yeah, hi, this is Shani.
Is it visible?
One second.
Supriya.
Yeah, very nice. Yes, visible.
That's
It's
really
just
good.
a rough sketch. The lines are not neat.
That's okay, that's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
It's looking very nice. Ishani showing hers, very nice. Great job, guys. Let's all complete it and let's see some completed artwork by the end of the
Hi,
session.
this is Adya.
Hi, Adya.
Can you see me? Can you see the
Yes.
Yes.
This.
Very
Yes, we can
nice.
see the drawing. Very nice. Once this is colored, it looks even more beautiful.
Yeah.
And like Janvi said, if you don't have colors, you can make them naturally with haldi and kumkum.
Anybody else? Guys, we would like to see a few more. We have 48 participants and we saw only 4 or 5. Come on, let's see a few more.
We are also going to randomly call out a few names and let's see if you can show us.
Hi. Can you see mine?
One second.
Sanjana.
Sanjana? Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
Oh wow, that is beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Supriya Kalyanpur asking us, can we paint this on glass?
Yeah, you can paint it on glass, but um, drawing it would be slightly difficult. But you get these glass pencils. So you get a white color glass pencil. You can use that to draw on the glass, and then you can use acrylic paints or even glass paints to draw to paint. Yes, you can do this on glass. So guys, you can continue this, and we'd like to show a few of the designs that we have made earlier.
You all are free to take screenshots if you all would like.
So guys, like we mentioned earlier, you can do something like this with only the faces. You all can do. So we have tried some bookmarks as simple as a small little motif and then color around it. So nothing intricate or difficult. And it looks really nice. So like this, the fish that we learned today, it looks nice and colorful, like you can use it, or it could be as simple as this peacock or
Just
a
black
bird.
and white and no color.
It could be as simple as only borders. See, something like this also looks very pretty. Just the borders or just a few detailed design Shreya showed earlier. the serpent drawing. So this is slightly more modern than Madhubani, but you can create something.
So the figures drawn within are not Madhubani figures. They are another art form, but we have drawn the Bharni Kachni aspect which we wanted to show you. Again,
Another very typical Madhubani Lakshmi.
They're all very beautiful.
again the Bharni
Thank you.
Kachni aspect, wherein there's color at the background, Bharni in the background and Kachni within the figure.
So this is a snakes and ladder game. It was made on an Amazon cardboard during the lockdown. So you can create such board games at home with some Madhubani motifs, or this is another remote. Slightly bigger size. I think we could take some questions now, Adit, if they have any questions. Because we are pretty much done with our.
Can you guys give us your Instagram handle?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. So it's Arts in Isolation. We're just going to write it down for you. So we have displayed the artworks of the participants who have participated in our workshops earlier. So you can check out, and not just Madhubani, we have all the different workshops we've done so far.
It's ARTSINISOLATION.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. You can hear it.
Yeah, the black and white, the fish painting that you showed, right?
Yeah.
The one which you did with a white pen. Could you tell me which pen you used?
We use the Signo gel pen, but you can use the cello jelly. You get this jelly roll. It's called Sakura jelly roll. You can use that, or any. So if you, I think it's a Uniball pen that we have used here. Uniball Signa or something like that.
Okay.
White color Uniball Signa. Yeah, it's called Signo.
Okay.
So it's this white gel pen. No problem. Okay, we have two more. How different is the moon from the sun? So for the moon, you can draw a crescent instead of a full circle.
What other animals are usually depicted in Madhubani? So in the Madhubani painting, they generally depict a cow. Since it's from up north India, they generally depict the cow in a Madhubani painting.
Cow, fish, peacock, birds. Not too many animals as such, because animals generally come in Gond paintings. So in Gond paintings, they draw a lot of animals. But in Madhubani, these are very basic animals that they draw. Not very stylized. It's very basic.
Even when they draw a Buddha or a Mahavir, they generally draw peacocks around it and lotuses. Any more questions? Anyone wants to ask us something?
Those modern back covers of mobiles, are those Madhubani art? I can show you.
Yeah,
This one?
Yeah, show us please.
Can you see this?
Yeah, so these could be more of Zentangle or something like that. No?
Yeah, because if so in the paper Madhubani borders.
Yeah.
So we have drawn a few Madhubani borders that we can share with you. So in the Madhubani borders, you generally see more of Bharni Kachni. So when you see that there are borders with color as well as fine lines and no color, that what we explained. So that would tell you that it is a Madhubani border. Like in this bookmark, for example, you can see that some parts have color in it, which is the Bharni aspect, and then some parts of it has no color, just fine lines. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that makes it a Madhubani border where there are parts of it which has color in it and parts of which have no color but just fine lines or hatching stippling in it. So that is how you can recognize a Madhubani border. Like in here we don't have any color in the border, right? So this becomes a Kachni border with just fine lines and the geometric patterns with no color in it will make it a Kachni border.
Okay.
Anything else, guys?
What is the Kobar aspect? Can you explain the Kobar aspect?
So the Kobar aspect is basically all the pastoral symbols within the painting or the nature aspect of the painting. So if you have drawn flowers, leaves.
Do you have samples to show us?
No.
Like this might be the Kobar aspect where you have the tree drawn and the leaves drawn. Because there's no deity within, right?
Yes.
So we don't really have a good example to show you.
Hmm.
But this might be the closest that we can get to the Kobar aspect.
And the Gondwana, you were saying something just now. What was it?
Gond
Gondwana.
painting, yeah. Gond paintings have a lot of animals and birds.
Gond, G-O-N-D?
Yeah, G-O-N.
That's a different folk art
Yeah,
altogether.
it's a different form of art.
Okay.
But that depicts a lot of animals.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to say thank you so much. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And I learned a lot. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for participating.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, so thank you. I wanted to actually express my thoughts also. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Janvi and Shreya, for taking the time to conduct this session. This session has really been a very huge value add, and by the end of it, I'm sure everyone had an added skill in their pocket, at a beginner level at least. So, I mean, I had initially thought this was going to be like a drawing session, but at the initial, y'all explained the meaning behind it, the history behind it was also very enriching. And yeah, I mean, I hope to further practice this and get more creative with the tools and ideas that you have provided us with today. So yeah, there was some disturbance at somebody's mic. Yeah, so I was saying that I actually had a thought that maybe we could have an arrangement where we float a link to everyone and they can take pictures of their work and put it on the link. So that way we can, one, to get to display our work, and secondly, we can convey our feedback and appreciation to Janvi and Shreya for conducting the session also. So yeah, that is one thought I had, because that way we all can also see the kind of improvement that you all had in us, the kind of work we had in this evening. So yeah, on this note, I would like to ask Vibha to join in for the ending prayers.
Thank you, Divya.
Thank you, Shreya, and for this amazing session. I'm sure people will go back and get more creative and get back to us with their art. Concluding it with this session with the Sabha Samapti prayers. Om Nandantu Sadaka Sarve Vinashantu Vidushakaha Avastha Shambhavi Mestu Prasannostu Guru Sada Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukhamapnuyat Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.